What is up, Green Bay Packers fans, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Draft, brought to you by Badger State Brewing in Green Bay. And we have a very exciting announcement that the Daily Draft is now going truly daily. We put it up to kind of a vote or asked you guys' opinion, and we will now have Daily Draft episodes that come out every single day. That includes what has not been going on yet, which is Saturday and Sunday. And to that end, right now, hopefully, depends on how long this thing takes to turn around. But right now, there is a poll. You just go find my Twitter account. Please give me a follow. I'm at Ross Uglem over on X, or formerly known as Twitter. And there is a Google form. Real easy. Wasn't able to figure out how to like set a cap at picking 13 people. So please don't pick 20. But 13, because we're going to do, there's seven weekends between now and draft weekend. And we're going to do 14 prospects. And I've already decided, especially, I kind of already decided, but especially after he absolutely tore up the combine, my pick to replace Josiah DeGuara in that role is Kansas State's Ben Sinnott. So I'm going to do a little bit of work on Ben, who's a tight end fullback hybrid. You want to go look at my Twitter account. There's also a cut up of him actually playing fullback, not just, I think this kind of shorter tight end can play fullback. There's a cut up of him smoking people playing fullback, and one of them's even in the snow in the Farmageddon game against Iowa State. So you see kind of a seamless transition there if Green Bay were to select Ben. That means there's 13 spots. I think there's like 43 or 44 guys to kind of pare down to 13. So you got a lot of options. But guys that are going to be in that like 25 to 150 range, right? Guys that the Packers actually have a real shot at taking. And so that can be voted on right now. We're going to close that voting at 5:00 today, which is Monday, March 4th. And it's a mock draft Monday. So we're very, very excited about that as well. That's going to be about it. Normally I open up mock draft Monday with some, chatter about, Green Bay and maybe their tendencies or just whatever. But we're not going to do that today because this has been a very, very draft full weekend. I'm sure a lot of you that are big enough draft dorks to be watching this, and I say that only with love, but a lot of you that are big enough draft dorks to be watching this have watched the combine all weekend. So you've had a lot to take in. And also, we are doing a bonus episode. We're doing a bonus with a very, very exciting guest. But we are doing a bonus combine winners and losers episodes today. So it's a 2-episode day. So we're not going to do a 25, 26, 27-minute version of Mock Draft Monday. We're going to go into a mock. Shout out Matt Schneidman. Probably going to link his mock, but didn't want to do the video on it because The Athletic, I think the whole thing is a pay site. I'm not 100% sure, but I didn't want to just put his picks on blast because The Athletic requires, I do believe, a subscription. So we might put them in the Packer Report deal, but probably not on the video here, just because I want to support. We certainly want people to sign up for Packer Report VIPs, and I don't know how much Matt Schneidman's actual paycheck is dependent on athletic subscriptions. Mine is at the Packer Report side. And so we wanted to respect Matt by not just throwing him and his mock up here, but he did a 7-round mock, I think. Huber's got one. So we're going to have some Packer specific mocks that we're able to link to in the Mock Draft Monday post over at Packer Report, which I'm very excited about. I like doing the national mocks. PFF's got a new one. I think CBS Sports has a new one. There's some big ones out there. But when you get deep, like I don't know, and we still link them and stuff, but I don't know how much people that will watch this show, and especially in a year where the Packers have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds, I don't know how exciting a 1-round 32 pick mock is to Packers fans. And Packers fans are certainly who I would imagine watches this bad boy. So we're hopeful to do some more multi-round stuff and some more multi-round Packers specific stuff as we get closer to the NFL draft. All right. So bringing in here now to the stage. And again, we're going to try and have authentic reactions. Not that it's a huge deal, but we're going to try and have authentic reactions here. So here is my absolute first look at the Cody Williams mock draft on Fansided. Cody had a 3-rounder come out today. Oh, I should have done this differently. All right, we're going to speed through this. Cody, this is no disrespect to you, but we would probably not use Fansided again because I don't like having to click like this. Tyler Guyton I've seen a lot of this. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know how else to put that. I know there have been some pretty smart Packers people that have been pushing this agenda. Uh, Look, I get some of it, right? Uh, but there's some of it I don't get. Like he's young, um, played in a Power Five conference. I'm pretty sure did very well. Check his relative athletic scores now, or score now that we have, um, data at Math Bomb Guyton. You guys are getting a look. Yeah, 974. I mean, that's a Packer all day long, with the exception of he's almost 6'8", which they have not done since they hired Ron Wolf. He's 322, which they have not. Now it's only by a pound. I think they did pick a 321-pound tackle, but yeah, I mean, it's just not what they do. They don't take the giant guys because he has no positional flexibility. And honestly, we don't even know if he can play left tackle. He's a right tackle at Oklahoma. I don't think they have any interest in moving Zach Tom. They've said they don't have interest in moving Zach Tom. I think if they're going to pick a tackle high that they want to play tackle, they're going to throw that tackle into a competition with Rasheed Walker. I don't think the Guyton pick is happening. He would be much, much taller than anybody that they've taken since Ron Wolf took the Packers job. And he'd be heavier than almost all of them as well. Now, doesn't make it a complete impossibility. It's just not how they've done business. And if I've learned anything covering the Packers and trying to sort of predict what they might do, it's that they kind of do business the way they do business. And once you get a handle on that, it doesn't necessarily make you, I'm the smartest person in the room. It just is like, what, instead of focusing on 100 prospects, what 45 prospects should I actually be looking at? I don't think that Tyler Guyton is one of them. Okay. Assume that we're going to get to a round 2 mock here. Tyler Newman. Little nugget. There's only one source. This isn't multiply sourced, if you will. I've heard that the Packers like Tyler Newman quite a bit, and I will leave it at that. But it doesn't always work out, right? But kind of the same types of stuff that I'm hearing about or have mentioned that I heard about Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker. I'm hearing him about Tyler Newman. So that'd be an exciting fit and a great fit. Still need some testing numbers for him. I don't know that he worked out like at all at Indy. I think he got measured, but that might have been it. So we might have to wait for we might have to wait for some Minnesota Pro Day stuff for young Mr. Newman, because we have none. And that is not a deal breaker by any stretch, but I heard they like him, and he makes a ton of sense, especially after addressing the offensive line in round 1. Marshawn Lloyd. I really like Marshawn Lloyd. Some people don't. He's got a fumbling problem. I often equate fumbling with running backs to drops with wide receivers. They just don't care that much. I think a running back that really, really holds on to the football might fumble twice in a season, and a back that fumbles a ton might fumble 5 times, especially with the odds of recovering the fumble being, they're probably not 50-50, but they're deep. Like, I get turnovers are bad, okay? And it's definitely like a minus on his report card, but I'm not going to drop him 2 rounds because he's got a fumbling issue over potentially 3 plays a game, or 3 plays a season, not 3 plays a game, 3 plays a season. I really, really, really like Marshawn Lloyd. I don't know that I like him second round like him, but I really, really like Marshawn Lloyd. So it's an interesting draft with an offensive tackle and a running back, and we're already done with round 2. No corner, no pass rusher. We'll see. See how this one wraps up. Boy, that's early for Gabriel Murphy, who I like, but that's early for him. And that one kind of saves it. Although, man, Kinchins did not test well. He's going to need to test better for the Packers to even be interested, to be honest. That was catastrophic. And I'm not just talking about 40 time. I mean, he tested as like a 25th percentile athlete or worse. So probably be about round 5 before Green Bay would even take a look. And I don't think he's lasting until round 5. I like Kinchins a ton. I'm going to rank him higher than 91st. He's going to drop because what happened at the combine, and kind of needs to save some of that at Miami's Pro Day. I hope his agent is working on something leaking that he was hurt, or I hope he was actually hurt, because the workout is almost disqualifying. And I know that sounds insane, that someone who stumped for Kinchins and loved his tape and stuff like that, but there are just certain athletic requirements of being a positively impactful NFL football player. And you don't always have to be 9 RAS guys or 90th plus percentile athletes to be awesome. There are certainly exceptions to the rule. There have been some really good Green Bay Packers, especially on like second contracts, that have been, kind of mediocre athletes. I think Micah Hyde, although I think Hyde was just slow. I actually think the rest of what he did was pretty cool. No, actually, he was not a great athlete, and that's probably why Green Bay waited till round 5 to take a good player. That's what they like in the late rounds sometimes is either football players that aren't quite good but are freak athletes, or really good football players that aren't athletes, but their tape grade just is so great that you got to take them. And the other thing that I've mentioned is the Packers will definitely take a flyer in like free agency on guys that aren't athletes. Like Zadarius Smith has a terrible RAS score. Well, once you have NFL film, you're no longer a projection, and Green Bay doesn't care as much. And they'll take a 37th percentile athlete like Zadarius Smith. But and I could be totally wrong, and I'll look at it, but I would say Z at 37% or a 3.7 is, my God, like as low as probably a successful NFL player ends up being. And maybe there's a 20th percentile or a 15th percentile athlete that's just awesome. And I'm not talking about quarterbacks or kickers or whatever, but I don't know of that player. And Green Bay has opted not to do that in the draft, and that's fine. Okay, moving on, especially for the audio people. Audio people, we love you. We try to be cognizant of not doing too much on the screen that, gets you guys bored or disinterested. Moving to the PFF mock. I'm going to call this one an anything goes mock. I'm going to zoom in for the people that have the bad eyes. We always remember you. We remember your requests. We respect you. We love you. The mock draft sim. I'm going to say anything goes. Going to grab my handy dandy big board 2.0. You can't see it on the screen, but it is something that I'm referencing that I've spent some time hand entering some RAS scores into. So we've got a little bit more of a who the Packers might actually be interested vibe. We're going to go to round 5, which is a new thing for Mock Draft Monday. We're going to round 5 in search of potentially the Allen Lazard comp pick, because that has been removed from Green Bay in round 4 on the PFF Mock Simulator. I would assume that it got put back in round 5, but we don't know. So we're going to find out. Entering the draft, I think, again, anything goes. So we are going to look at who's available. We are going to look at trade possibilities, but not before. Just said I was going to do it. We help out the people. We zoom in, baby. That fits 150%. Look at the size of the lad. Gotta love that. Okay, let's do this. Let's mock draft. Okay. Boy, Fatanu just staring at you at the top of the board there with a very, very sexy RAS score that I don't have inputted yet, but I know it was sweet. 9.45. That's a 94th percentile athlete, and I'm going to guess that number I just read is at tackle. So I would also guess that his numbers at guard are pretty much space alien adjacent. Fatano is going to go up, folks, after the combine. Not a ton. We don't use the combine to order the draft board, but we break some ties and we shift some guys, and that's certainly on the menu there with Fautanu. Newbin's interesting. Rakestraw. I got to tell you, probably not going to be a Green Bay Packer unless they just view him as a nickel. He tested as a 47th percentile athlete, and I think he's like, I've been pushing him to play nickel. I ain't going to play nickel in round 1, and I just think somebody else is going to take him. I don't mean that. I don't know that I have to continue to explain myself there, but I don't think it's going to be the Packers. I'll just say that right now. I don't think it's going to be the Packers. For example, Fatanu is going to jump Jordan Morgan, and not that Jordan Morgan had a bad week. He didn't, but Fatanu is going to jump Jordan Morgan. And I tell you what, I have not done, and I think this is certainly within the realm of possibility. Chop Robinson's going to have to move northward for you there, PFF. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Because I'm going to do this more as a simulation than what I would do. Chop Robinson's there at 25 after the combine he just had. He's going to be a Green Bay Packer. I'll tell you that right now. Going to look at the trade offers because I wouldn't mind moving down a couple spots. I ain't moving down to 51. Not happening. All right. For the first time, I think, since we've gone to video here, we're going to take the offensive lineman in round one. As much as I have talked on and on about how much the Packers excellently identify mid to late round offensive line talent and how comfortable I am with a Walker, Jenkins, Myers, Ryan, Tom offensive line. I just think Fatano showed he might be able to play tackle. And I just believe in him more at tackle than I do in Barton or Morgan. And my God, if he can play left tackle, I don't know. I'm going to add Fatano. That's what I'm going to do. I don't need to explain myself anymore. And I'm probably killing the people listening on audio. Pick 41. Keon Coleman. Okay. This is the one tough part about this, guys, is the way that I don't get to see a lot of options. I don't get to see a lot of draft options when I'm this zoomed in for you guys that can't see, but that's fine. Let's take a quick look at the cornerback group. And I'm not that high on Lassiter. We must not have got enough testing for Lassiter for an RAS score, because I think I would have put it in. And not that I'm perfect, because I'm not, but I think I would have. Yeah, we didn't get enough testing. Good shuttle times, good agility times. Shorter than I would have guessed, probably shorter than Georgia lists him. Pretty light at 186. I don't think the Packers do a lot of 186-pound corners. So I'm just not going to probably take Lassiter. I'm not going to take a nickel this high. Green Bay might not even take a nickel. All right. So we're out of the corner market at 41. I'm going to guess that we're in the Chris Jenkins market. As much as I would love Keon Coleman, he's got to run faster than that to be a Green Bay Packer. Plus, I got my heart set elsewhere after one of my favorite prospects in this draft blew up the combine. Yeah, Chris Jenkins. So we are in the trenches, folks. This is a trenches heavy draft. As much as I would have liked to address the secondary, we're getting two really, 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 two first round grade guys for me with Fautanu and with Jenkins. And Fatanu's grade moved up because of his arm length and because of how well he did at the combine. How good, not just raw testing numbers either. I'm talking about the way that he looked in the drills. He looked like a tight end at 317 pounds. But I am very excited. And that's not some giant move up the board, because people are like, oh, you're obsessed with metrics. Sure. Okay, whatever. But like, we're talking about a player that was 38th and had a high round 2. We're getting him a round 1 grade and probably moving to 29th. Okay. That's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about some enormous move up the board. Hi, Jonathan Brooks. Boy, that's a scary deal. Going back to the big board here. We've lost the 2 linebackers that we love, I do believe. That'd be Peyton Wilson. And yeah, they're gone. Peyton Wilson and Edge Cooper are gone. We still really like Junior Colson. Not sold on the idea that we're going to get an opportunity to take Junior Colson. If we pass on him now, looking a little bit further down the line, some guys that might be available. Tavondre Sweat's going to have to move down for me big time. I think this combine proved he's a run defense guy, and that's it. And there's value in that. There's not second round value in that. So he's going to move probably to a round 3 for me and down my actual rankings then as well. I still think, as much as I like Jaden Hicks, he is a box safety. And I don't know that the value is really here to take a box safety when I can get one that I like later. Still looking at Jonathan Brooks, man. Still looking at Jonathan Brooks as potentially the best value. Let me really quick, because we know what the corner market looks like. Trying to look at my board here. They won't take Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy's just way too low on PFF's board. Again, and I use the word simulation. We're trying to live in reality. I know a lot of times I'll just say, hey, if they're on the simulator, take them. I'm going to try and live a little bit more in reality this run around, if that's okay with everyone. I think my cover 3 corner, TJ Tampa's gone. He is. My guy, A.D. Mitchell, I think, is gone there. Kalen King's going to have to move down. They're not going to take Lasser. They're not going to take Darius Robinson. I'm not going to take Suamatia because I already took Fatanu. Not going to take McKinley Jackson. He's going to get moved down just like Devondre Sweat did. He's a run defense only guy. Again, they have value, but not second round value. They're going to get moved down. All right. Running back it is. As much as I am Mr. Running backs don't matter, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just going to address the safety position a little bit further down. As much as I enjoy Jaden Hicks. Did we not get testing data for Jaden Hicks? Why don't I have RAS there? We didn't. Okay, so he verted like a crazy man. He's got decent, really good vert, a good enough broad jump, and he's huge. So when he does a 40 and does some agilities at Washington State's Pro Day, that should be fine for him. I don't think, though, that he's going to move up or down. I kind of like him where I have him. Anyway, this is a lot of talking to just take Jonathan Brooks, which is what we are going to do. And it seems like we're running right towards that 25-minute mock draft Monday. Anyway, Jonathan Brooks at 57. Okay. Oh, the love of my life is gone. Where did he go? Johnny Wilson, first pick of the 3rd round. Well, you snooze, you lose there. All right. Well, that plan's dead. How's the safety market looking? Vaki, love you. This is great radio. The absolute silence. I do apologize for that. Okay. We're done goofing around with nickel corner, Jerry and Jones. That's what we're doing. We're done goofing around with nickel corner. Is there any corner that I even think in a million years can play outside out of this group? Oh, Max Melton. Shout out Max Melton. Doubling up on corner in the 3rd round, nickel and outside guy. Okay. Ooh, McKinley Jackson and Christian Boyd back-to-back. We already did the defensive line thing. We're not going to probably do that again. Sinnott just hanging out there. Nope, easy. Cole Bishop blew up the combine. I think he's going super north. He's going super north for me. Went back, watched more tape. Cole Bishop was player 106 for me with a low third round grade. We are moving up with Cole Bishop. I'll tell you that right now. That's like starting strong safety tomorrow, Cole Bishop in the 4th round. Well, I think that's a unbelievable value. And here is your Alan Lazard comp pick. So mock draft Monday is officially now a 5-round mock. Tell all your friends. Oh, that ain't going to happen, but we'll do it. Cedric Gray, mock draft Monday over. Very, very excited to get our coverage and blitz linebacker in round 5. I don't think this is going to happen, but I got to tell you, not going after the positions that I was really excited about. This one turned out about as good as I would ever hope. This was a really successful mock draft Monday. Again, you talk about a simulation. You talk about things that I think might not have actually happened. Guys that tested their way out of some stuff. I think Max Melton tested his way out of being available there potentially, but boy, while kind of focusing on the run game and the trenches with Fautano, Jenkins, and Brooks early, I love what I was able to do in the pass game later. I think the offense would be happy with a tackle and a tailback, and then defensively to add Max Melton to the mix on the outside, I think would be huge. and then Jerry and Jones is your starting nickel for the next very long time. I really like the way that this one turned out with Cole Bishop, teaming. I think they're probably going to sign a free agent safety that seems to be picking up buzz. And then to add Cedric Gray as that third linebacker, as a special teamer, as a pass coverage guy, I really, really like. This is one of the my favorite ones that I've done, and it's the first one where I did what I've said that I don't think they have to do, which is take an offensive lineman high. Might have come back with an old lineman again in round 6, round 7, just to add bodies to that room. But I'm really, really thrilled with the way that this one went. And I hope you guys had a great time listening or a great time watching. I know sometimes Mock Draft Monday is tough for you guys that are just listening to the mice spin the wheels in my head trying to get me to pick somebody. Thank you guys once again so much for watching and listening. However it is you take in this content, we do appreciate it. How can you help us out? Well, buy the Packer Report Draft Guide, man. That's a big deal for us, and is really, really an awesome, awesome piece of content. If you like the Green Bay Packers, if you love the NFL Draft, if you like both, it's a must-have. You can use the promo code DAILY, DAILY, for 10% off. The link should be right here in the video description or in the podcast description, or just head on over to Packer Report, because we're going to have Mock Draft Monday with this video in it. Basically, as soon as you're going to be able to get this to your ears or to your eyeballs. Other than that, check us out at Packer Report and do everything you're supposed to do here at the Pack a Day podcast. Like, subscribe, make sure you have clicked the notification bell. Have a great rest of your Monday. Watch for that bonus episode, and go Pack Go.